Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. Julian here for another Drops episode. This one for week 23 of the fantasy season, the fantasy playoffs. So it's important that you're dropping players that are not contributing to your lineup, because if they're not, you're not putting up enough fantasy points to be able to win your week. And if you don't win your week, you're going to unfortunately be eliminated. So this episode is especially important because I'm going to go through some players that, even though they may be decent players, they're not performing right now, so they should be let go of. I just want to start this video by addressing the Fantasy Tipped Members League. I want to thank all you guys who became Patreons or joiners on YouTube and joined my Fantasy Tip Members League. It has been a fun season. An 18-team league is no joke. The depth of the players on the waiver wire is kind of crazy. I ended up finishing second place regular season in the league. So close from taking home that first place spot. But then I end up getting a matchup against the team with the second most points in the league, who ended up finishing 7th place. So I got a pretty tough matchup, about as tough as they get in the first round, especially for somebody finishing as high as I did. My opponent Jesse has pushed me to the absolute limit this week. I'm up by 3.1 points this Sunday that I'm recording this. And I basically am praying for a Jari and Dostel start today. Otherwise, I might be toast. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun. I'll update you guys about that in the next video I record. Before I jump into it, guys, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you do want to take your support to the next level, there's a link down below to my Patreon or the join button right there on YouTube as well, if you want to, contribute a little bit to the channel. Thanks so much, guys, and let's jump right into the drops now. And first on the list is Jonathan Marchessault of the Nashville Predators. He's 77% rostered, which doesn't make a lot of sense. He's been very streaky this season. He's gone on some hot streaks, but he's also gone on some very cold streaks. Right now, he's got 1 assist in his last 6 games. That is not good at all. And his peripherals have not exactly been great either. It's not like he's shooting a ton. Right now, Jonathan Marchessault is a pretty safe drop, and Nashville has nothing to play for. It's not like he's overly motivated to put up a bunch of points. Then I have Evgeny Malkin of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and actually lately he's not playing too badly. He's playing on the second line with Philip Tomasino, and Tomasino's playing pretty well himself. The thing is, the Penguins' schedule isn't that great this week, playing on the 3 busy nights, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And if you are in a shallower league, there may be better options available to you than Evgeny Malkin. I don't hate him if you are in a deeper league. He should be fine as long as you can fit him in your lineup on those busy nights. I don't mind him. But just make sure you can actually fit him. And if you are in a shallow league, check if there's somebody better out there. Then Matvei Michkov, and I like Michkov a lot, but he is super freaking streaky. He'll go on super cold patches and then super hot patches. Right now, he's on a really cold streak, and you don't really want him on your lineup when he's on a cold streak like that, because he just doesn't do anything at all. And in the fantasy playoffs, you can't have somebody on your team like that. Hopefully, he turns things around soon, but if you own him, you probably have to drop him if you want to win your week. And Ryan O'Reilly of the Nashville Predators is playing still in their top 6 and top power play, but he's also not doing a whole lot, just like Jonathan Marchessault. So he has nothing to play for right now. Guys like Philip Forsberg and Stamkos are still doing decently, but O'Reilly, Marchessault, those guys are pretty droppable. Next, I have Adam Fantilli of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and although he's still getting top line and top power play time, he's not doing a whole lot with it. He has no points in his last 5 games, and it's starting to kind of weigh down on your fantasy team that he's not producing fantasy points. Now, the Blue Jackets do have a couple of off nights next week, so if you do play in a super deep league and want to hang on to him for those off nights, that's not a problem. But if you are in a shallower league and you're still hanging on to him, there may be better options out there available just because he's just not doing a whole lot for your fantasy lineup. Jumping into defense, and the downfall of Morgan Rielly was unprecedented this season. Over his last 10 games, he has only 2 points. And to top that off, he's not putting up peripherals either. This season has been abysmal for Morgan Rielly. He was taken off the top power play. He just isn't a valuable fantasy asset at this point. The fact that he's still owned in 81% of leagues is kind of mind-blowing. Without the top power play in Toronto, he doesn't need to be rostered in almost any leagues. Gustav Forsling of the Florida Panthers is somebody else that is droppable this week if you need to. He's not someone who's awful, I'm not telling you that at all, but he's more of a safe floor type guy, kind of like a Jake Middleton or something like that. Now, Florida only plays 2 games this week, and they do not come until Friday and Sunday. So holding him Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is kind of difficult, especially if you are in a difficult matchup this week, which you should be because it's the fantasy playoffs. Forsling may not be the most ideal player to have in that lineup. So definitely, if there's somebody out there that's kind of piquing your interest and maybe gets 4 games and you can fit him in your lineup for 4 games, it might be better than having Gustav Forsling for only 2 games at the end of the week. Then Miro Heiskanen of the Dallas Stars. He is injured and he is confirmed to be missing the rest of the season. So 73% of you that are still holding on to him, get rid of him. There's no point. He's actually even confirmed to be missing the first round of the playoffs now. So definitely no need to hold on to Miro Heiskanen. Travis Sanheim of the Philadelphia Flyers has no points in 14 straight games. That's not an exaggeration, and it's not like his peripherals have been all that great throughout these 14 games. He's not getting top power play time. I have no idea why he's owned in more than 50% of leagues. That's absolutely insane right now. He is not helping anybody on their fantasy team right now. And finally, Nikita Zadorov of the Boston Bruins. Just like Gustav Forsling or Jake Middleton or a guy like Darnell Nurse even, he's somebody who gives you a pretty safe floor every night. Thing is, like Florida, Boston only plays 2 games this week. So 2 games of safe floor really isn't that appealing to me. There's probably something better out there floating on your waiver wire because Zadorov, having him only for 2 games, probably isn't going to help your fantasy team all that much. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Good luck in all your matchups this week, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.